Hello fellow achievement hunters and gamers. In this video I want to show you the content of the game Dice Legacy. In this game you need to build a city, so this is a city builder game and a combination of a board game because you need to use dices and a real-time strategy. So this is a mixture of genres and this is actually a pretty unique game. So let's talk about the game. During the game there are two seasons, there are winter and summer. During winter your dices could be get frozen. As you can see I have 4 frozen dices. The total limit of dices you can have is 12, but I don't know if this is exploit or the game supposed to work like that, but I have not just 12 dices, I have 33 because as you can see you can place many on the map board because some buildings require 2 dices to work, but if you place there only one, then it will wait for a second until it works. Of course, if you get more than 12 in your hand, then you need to discard some. I found this way very useful because the game actually is quite challenging already on the easiest difficulty, which include enemies. There is a pacifist mode which don't have enemies, but that actually is a bit boring. And now, okay, let's talk about the game content. Or actually, let's talk about still first about the seasons. Uh, the frozen dice is this frozen tech could be removed by the tavern, or you can wait until summer when these uh, frozen uh, cars are removed. Now let's do that. Wait for the spring or the summer. There are only 2 seasons. Oh, you can see already the snow is melting. When a new season arrives, there always something happening. For example, each faction gets happiness because you survived this winter, and you also get a new ability. Here it is. You get always a policy when a season passed, and all this very useful. I will talk about this a bit later. I actually don't know which to choose. Let's go for this one. As you can see, the peasant faction happiness went up to the maximum because I accepted your uh, proposed policy. The others lost some happiness. So they are here also required to play some with the happiness. There are many way to increase the happiness, like getting a new dice for that faction, or build a building inside their territory. There are so-called districts, and if you build a building inside their districts, then they get also happiness, or you can celebrate some festival for that faction that also increase the happiness. There are also technologies in the game. There are many available. They unlock new buildings, they boost the buildings, your abilities, your actions, and you can get research points in the workshop. with study dices and well, how to use these dices. You can see some icons on each dice. Each faction has a different kind of dice types. For example, a merchant can use merchant ability. They can gather this icon is gathering, or some can fight like this one. This torch is actually attacking enemy settlements. This hammer is to build buildings, and this work ability, these gears are used for various uh, times, used at various times. For example, growing wheat at the farms, or doing the preparation at the festival at the town square. You can also see some numbers on these dices. For example, it has as 11. This is the durability of a dice. When you do a new roll uh, for the dices, then this number decreases by 1. Of course, you can restore this durability to the maximum by various means. There are also a smaller number on this dices. On some dices, for example, it has a 2, which means that, for example, if there are action which require 2 dices, like this work. So if you place here a work dice with a number 2 on it, then that single dice could fulfill that task. Okay, what else should I talk about the game? We have many resources. You can gather these resources from the forest, from the mines, with the gathering dice. But this is a very important suggestion. I am sure this is a required suggestion. You need to play like that. You can see this uh, red number on this iron mine with number 2. This means that only 2 iron left in this mine. Never fully clean up a mine or a forest, because there are very useful peasant district policies, like at the start of every season, obtain 2 wood for every forest inside peasant districts. So every time summer arrives, or every time winter arrives, this district produce to me 2 and again 2 wood. That is already 4, and I have other forests too. This is why I have extreme amount of resources. This is very important, because the game is quite hard. So when an enemy comes with requirements that you need to beat with 10, I repeat, 10 combat dices, then you will start to lose your mind. And this is why you will need many towers. For example, one tower, if an enemy get to the range to this tower, then two combat dice already adjusted to that enemy. Eventually, or the towers already could kill that enemy. So to show some gameplay, uh, this is a peaceful settlement. You can either attack them, or trade with them, or convert them to your religion. Religion is the 5th uh, class. I don't have that yet. This is actually a quite overwhelming to have all the different kind of dices. This is why you need to place the blue dices here, and reserved for the cases when you will need it, and that this is the way actually you can uh, save your dices and have multiple type of dice types. So for example, this enemy require seven combat dice. That is just crazy. This is actually will burn my will attempt to set fire one of my building. I actually don't kill these because as you can see, these now attacking one building inside of my peasant district, and I have a policy which buildings inside peasant districts are immune to fire. So actually I don't kill or don't try to kill these this kind of enemy, or when they actually manage to burn that building because it is not inside of a peasant district, then just one work uh, dice required to kill the fire, so that is quite easy. There are many different kind of enemies. Of course there are some which uh, uh, try to demolish the building, or create some illness for my buildings. And you can see they burn this building, but my firefighters with this dice killed the fire, so nothing bad happened. So when you roll new cards, you can adjust these to buildings, areas, forest, to green some materials. I actually would be nice to uh, expand a bit. Now this enemy spreads sickness. Actually this is something I don't like. Well, let's see, I have a combat card, combat dice here with Wu. Well, I have no clue what they going to attack. If they will be in the range of two of my buildings. Yes, they got in the range of my two towers, so only three uh, dice cards required. As you can see, this dice now become wounded. It happens actually pretty most of the time during combat. If you use these dice on combat again and it gets wounded again, then you will lose that dice. Losing a dice decreases the happiness of that faction. Let's grind. Let's get some more resources. I actually should expand the bot a bit. Now, if I want to say something bad about the game, then that would be that you can't adjust dice the buildings when the game paused, or to enemies. That is very annoying, because when you need to adjust 10 attack cards to one enemy, then you definitely want to uh, use those attack cards at the same time. Or example, or when they close to your towers, you want to use these extra attacks on the enemy at that time. But it is very annoying when you just try to find your uh, uh, attack dices, and the enemy just moves on and leaves the range of the tower, and you now need even more dices for that. You can also upgrade your cards that require this enhancement chamber. Oh, this is actually a required building, so let's build it. So actually, this is the content of the game. This is the first scenario. There are 6 scenarios. There are different leaders. The stranded king, is the first leader which is available when you start the game. The other 5 or 6 not available at the start. You need to unlock them, just the other scenarios. I will repeat again the very important suggestion and hint about the game you should consider using, like using more than 12 dices by placing on the map, reserving them, and the other is, well, which was that? Oh yeah, don't demolish forests, mines, instead build peasant districts to them and use these to permanent income which happens at every season's change. I hope I helped you to get some information about the game. I already played it for 10 hours. This is already my third game. I took some time until I figured out these tricks. If you found the informations I provided useful or you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe my video. Please don't forget to activate the bell so you will be notified about my future videos. Too, those are mostly non-commentary walkthroughs, but there are some commentary one like this one with content where I explain the content of a game. Thanks for watching.